Hello class. Today we are starting our first day of boot camp for the Algebra 1 EOC. And today we're going to be talking about mean, median, and mode. So make sure before you get started that you have a writing utensil and a calculator so that you can participate along with the video. Remember that at any point you can always pause if you feel like the video is going too fast, and you also have the option of rewinding. So the first thing we're going to talk about is mean. Mean is the sum of the data divided by the number of values. You may have also heard it called the average, which is its more common name. And you've found mean many times before. So this says calculate the mean of the following data set. You have several numbers here. First, you need to calculate the sum of all the numbers. So grab your calculator. This is in the window so you can see it. So we have 2 plus 3.5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 10 plus 11.5 plus 15 plus 15 plus 20 plus 22. And hit enter. So the sum of all of those numbers is 116. I need to take 116 and then divide it by the number of numbers that I have, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You take that answer, divide it by 11, and hit enter, and you get about 10.45. So that would be your mean. Now let's talk about median. The median is the number that's in the middle when the data is written in numerical order. So this first example, all I have to do is write the numbers in numerical order. So my smallest number here is 2. A lot of times I like to cross them off as I write them down to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Then 3, then 3, then a 4, then another 4, then a 5, then an 8, then a 9, and lastly, oops, I forgot that 7. See, this is why writing them down is helpful. So I got my 7, my 8, my 9, and my 10. Oh no, and I also forgot that 6. Again, this is why writing them down is helpful. Squeeze that 6 in there. So looking at this, double check, count all your numbers, make sure everything is still there. I have 11 numbers here and 11 numbers here. So super great. Now we just have to find the middle number. And to do that, you just have to find the middle of the set of data. So usually what I like to do is just kind of cross things off. If I cross something from one side, I have to cross it off from the other side. So my middle number is 5. I could also count and double check. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers on this end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers on that end. So 5 is my median. This requires really no calculator. You just have to be able to put the numbers in order, which apparently I was not very good at last time. Okay, let's do it again because this one is slightly different than the previous one. Start writing your numbers in order. So we had a 2 and another 2, then a 3, then a 4, then an 8, then a 9, and a 10, and then an 11. Okay, so I go through and I find my middle number. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. 8 numbers. So halfway from 0 to 8 is 4. So I have 4 and 4. 4 on this side of the line, 4 on that side of the line, which is great, but I don't actually have a physical middle number like I did in the previous example. So I have to actually do a little bit of calculating. I have to actually physically find the middle of 4 and 8. So I can just find the average or find the mean. 4 plus 8 divided by 2, because there's 2 numbers. So 4 plus 8 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So the middle number actually doesn't occur in the data set at all. It's just 6. Again, pause the video if you feel like you need to get caught up or I'm talking too fast. I usually don't like the videos to be very long. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is mode. And mode is the value or values that occur most often. So here, a lot of times it does help if the numbers are written in numerical order. Just because that way you can always see which one is happening most often. You could also do tallies if you wanted. So it looks like my smallest number is 2 and my biggest number is 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can kind of just tally the numbers up. Sometimes I feel like that's a little bit easier just because you'll be able to see it a lot more obviously. If you have a whole lot of numbers in your data set, doing tallies is really helpful because you don't have to like sort the numbers out. 9, we got 1 9, we have a 7, we have a 10, we have a 3, we have a 4, here's another 5, a 6, and a 10. Okay, so you're looking at the mode, you're looking at the number that happens most often. In our case, the number that happens most often is 4, because there are 3 of them. There are 2 3s, 2 5s, 2 6s, and 2 10s, but the number that happens most often is 4. I'll flip to the back of your paper because we're going to talk about changes in data. And this is kind of a challenging concept. It's a very common EOC thing that they will say, if I add in a number into your data set, what happens to the data? So let's just make up a data set. We'll pick a little one. How about 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5? So if this is my data set, and let's say I add in a random number anywhere. Let's say I add in the number 6. You want to talk about how that affects your mean, your median, and your mode. Each number that you add in can technically affect your mean, median, and mode differently. It just depends on what the number is. So your mean, how does it change the mean? Does the mean get bigger? Does the mean get smaller? Does the mean stay the same? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. So let's calculate our original mean, which is 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is 16. And then we divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So 3.2, and that's our mean. So if I add in the number 6 to this data set and I try to calculate my new mean, you can predict what's going to happen. Since 6 is big, one of the bigger numbers, in theory, it should make the mean bigger. But we can verify that. So now let's do 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 this time. That's 22. And now we're dividing it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. 22 divided by 6 is 3.6 repeating. So in this case, the mean got larger or increased or something like that. If we were to add in a number on the small side of the data, it would probably make our mean smaller. How about the median? How is it going to affect the median? Well, currently, our median is 3 because there's Whoops. Whoa, what just happened? For that. So if we're finding the median this time, we're looking for the number in the middle. 3 is the number in the middle. That's our median. So how is it going to change the median? Well, in theory, our median is going to change because we're adding in another number. So 3 is no longer the number in the middle. So if we're looking at 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, now our middle is going to be right here. 3 numbers on one side, 3 numbers on the other. Halfway between 3 and 4 is 3.5. So you would say your median gets bigger. Again, if you added a number on the small side of the median, it would probably get smaller. There are times when you add in a number into the median and it doesn't change it at all. And in this case, if I'm thinking about the mode, currently right now the mode is 2. But if I were to go through and reevaluate with a 6 in there, the 6 doesn't affect the fact that 2 is still the most occurring number. So in this case, the mode does not change. This is a very common, like, thinking kind of question that you're going to see on your EOC. So I wanted to make sure you had a reference for it. Okay, once you finish taking your notes, show them to me and I will open up your Canvas quiz.